getting at.
At what point do you like? At what point can we like? You think it will be when we can no longer like believe what ours? What you know? Like you see something and you're just like, oh, that could have been AI generated newscast.
One of us
You know
could
what I'm
be
saying?
an AI right now. How would you know?
Oh, nah, I don't believe that. We're not that far along yet.
I don't know.
Like, we're getting close, but like,
there's your reference chart. I'm not doing full degenerate Bumblebee. At the moment, I'm at 20% of open interest, and I think I'm going to cap myself there. So, while I had intended to put in up to 15% of my portfolio, the excess market return, there isn't enough liquidity for me to go there.
what do you guys see GameStop doing today? You see it going up? You see an uptrend?
I expect implied volatility to have an upward trend.
I
Ironically
think it's
enough,
funny how
contract
like
price have been relatively flat in the face of theta, which implies that the implied volatility is climbing. And actually, let me hold on. I can share a screen. Right, we don't have enough people for this. Good. Let me show you what I mean.
while you're looking that up, Party, I just think it's funny that like the September $19 calls, September 1st are cheaper than like the September 8th $40 calls. So I'm just getting like closer to
makes
like
sense
in the
because
money.
it's the one. It's what's it called? It's less affected by earnings. So just for everyone else's reference, assume you can see this. This is the option data from August 22 to present. For, in this case, the top strike calls. So we have here the open interest, and most importantly, we have the implied volatility back here. So it's already steadily increasing, and I intend to use that to my advantage. So I'm anticipating somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5 or 350% IV. I need the price to go, I need IV to go to around 290, 310 in order to break even on my trade. Net of theta. So as long as anything in excess of that is profit.
Boy, a juicy rumor would be nice right now, wouldn't it?
Plenty of those.
Huh?
Plenty
I'm
of
just
those.
saying, like a new, like super juicy rumor would be the.
I think the better trade right now is getting some of those in the money calls this week. They're pretty cheap, and then just exercising so you have a bunch of shares going into earnings so you can against those. The $17
I wouldn't
calls.
have the shares until after their exercise, though.
So you guys are gonna sell calls.
I'm saying for like November, or sorry, September 1st, 4 days from now, $17 calls are 64 cents. So let's say it gets to 17.65, $18 by then. You can exercise, get the 100 shares, and then going into the week of earnings, you can sell calls on the earnings day and basically have the same ability to capture premium. So I'm already in the out of the money calls, but the in the money calls for this week are really, really affordable relative to the premium on that week of 9/8. So I think that if you have the capital to exercise and collect shares this week, you can basically also harvest premium selling calls on September 6th next week. The 9/8 expiry. What's up?
But are those buying those closer dated calls and exercising them any more affordable than just buying the shares right now?
Yes.
It's not, well, the strike minus the current price is still higher than just buying the shares outright.
Like the $17 calls are 64 cents, right? And let's theoretically say you exercise, so you're paying you're paying 30 cents over bid right now. Then you're selling.
You're paying the ask.
Right. But effectively, your break-even price is $17.64, and then next week you're selling the September 8th, let's say at the money for $1.46. right? So
Pre-market
you're
is
offsetting that.
1726.
The $17 calls for 9.8. It's 140. Are you looking at the mark or the bid?
I'm looking at
136.
the ask price of the September 1 expiration GME 17 calls.
If you
Currently
go
going
to 9.8, flip that and say you sell that one against 100 shares, right? And
so
you're,
a very short diagonal is what you're suggesting.
I'm saying, would you rather sell against the 9.8 now or buy the 9.1 and exercise if they get in the money this week?
Neither, because there's still extrinsic value which will be eaten away by theta. So if you want the shares to have collateral to secure a covered call going into earnings, you could probably sell a deep out of the money call. Is that right? No, sorry. Sell a deep in the money put so that you get the premium plus the shares back that you're forced to buy at a slightly higher strike price. Assuming the price goes up, you'll come out ahead. And then you can turn around and sell the calls either in or out of the money the closer you get to earnings so that you can capture that IV crush.
I already have the out of the money calls and I have like 10 contracts. And I was looking at the break even price for this week is 17.64, the $17 call, and the break even price for September 8th is 18.64. So like if you're bullish on the actual underlying shares, like some people are, you can get it for a much lower average cost getting calls this week and exercising than the people that are intending to do the same next week. That was my only point. Just like exercising calls and then selling premium against the calls for next week to lower the cost basis.
I get it. Bumblebee, I don't know, and it doesn't matter because my thesis is strictly on the implied volatility. The price could just as easily be $100 million a share, as long as the IV is high enough to pay for the theta and then leave a little bit extra on the table. I'll take it.
Is there any you guys got long dated calls for like
Not
next
on
year?
GameStop.
Yeah, I've got one long dated call for next year. Paid like $400 for it. I am just gonna hold on to it. You never know what's gonna happen.
What strike is that one?
Oh, I'd have to get my. Hold on. I'll tell you in just a second.
So, Hardy, selling the in the money put expiring this Friday is interesting. I like that. I'll look at that today.
As a quick example, suppose you sell the $18 put for $1.20, right? That implies then that you're buying the shares at $18 a share, but you're being paid $1.20 to buy the shares at 18 a share. So your effective buy price is $16.80.
Correct. I'm liking that
It's
one.
below spot. So as long as you consider the premium you earn, you'll be fine. And as long as the price stays above $16.80, you'll still come out ahead.
Yep. I like that one. I'll look at it, see what it does today. Because especially if it gets a little wiggly and shooting around some, IV could shoot up on those ones for this Friday, even though most of it's going to be across earnings, like you've already stated. But no, that's a pretty sweet play, Hardy.
There may be value in selling the put, let's say selling $20 puts, assuming they're still in the money for September 8th, the day of earnings, assuming IV is high, 1, and 2, you're willing to buy the shares at $20 a share minus whatever the premium is. So as long as earnings is less bad as opposed to good, you should be able to make money on that trade. There is the possibility that GameStop gets pushed down to like $12 a share because of a miss or the cost of writing off the development wallet. But against revenue, I'd say we'd be fine.
So my long dated GME calls are for 621 and they are $27 calls.
Okay. I don't
and I lied. I lied. Oh, somebody was asking me the strike of my long dated calls, and I had 2 of them. I lied.
Impractical Banjo, it varies by ticker. So GameStop still has a lot of that residual, what's the term? Price insensitive buying or irrational buying. And so that's something I take advantage of when I'm selling options running up into earnings. Although this is one of those situations where, because I'm doing the deep out of the money calls, I'm taking advantage of a pricing inefficiency by institutional participants. Because institutional participants are using the same implied volatility applied to a Vega whose delta is effectively less than 1.
When I bought those calls, they immediately plummeted. They immediately fell by 50%. You can almost
call?
expect my long dated calls. You can almost expect that.
At that point, you're probably better off doing a poor man's covered call. Buy an at or in the money long dated call option, and then sell puts or sell calls above that call option. So, using GameStop as an example, you could buy the $18 call, and then sell against that. Buy the $18 call expiring. What's the farthest you can go? Jan 2025. And then sell any strike above the $18 call for a sooner expiration date.
He said, "Poor man's covered call."
Good thing. Charming style, yes, I'm still selling. Well, in this case, I'm not selling too many covered calls, only because I don't want to lose too many shares, but I am still selling puts against GameStop. And then next week, the week of earnings, I'm going to wait until earnings morning before selling puts against GameStop, so I can capture the highest implied volatility and take advantage of that crush, that sweet IB crush. If
So you'll be
liquidity
selling you'll be selling puts the morning of.
technically, I'm going to be doing a fully collateralized strangle. So I'll have shares, I'll have cash, and I'm going to sell calls and puts going in on earnings morning to realize the highest annualized gain that I can for the collateral that I have. Also, because the deep out of the money calls are relatively illiquid, or at least more illiquid than I thought, I'm probably going to commit the rest of the capital that I had intended into strangles, and then close a strangle prior to earnings.
I like that play, Hardy. That's
Because
pretty
that's
similar.
much more liquid.
That's pretty similar to what I did on BlackBerry through earnings, and that did well, which that was on my radar because you pointed out their elevated IV.
Glad it worked out.
Anybody got any other plays they want to enlighten us on? Got like 30 minutes before the bell.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. I was a little busy earlier. I see the title of the chat is Jackson Whole Lot of Nothing. I guess it's all kind of a perspective because it was great for me trading QQQ 0 DTE plays. So that's what I'm doing today. That's my play, up and down.
All right, let's see if I can.
I also saw the HE, Hawaiian Electric. I think Georgia was talking about this stock. It's up 37% in pre right now.
So I just want to point out that this Novavax, it's down 2% on Friday, and over the weekend I saw, I want to say, 2 more articles about COVID. Like, I guess a football player just got put on medical leave because of COVID for the first time in a long time. And what else? I was freaking reading about it. If I can find this other article. Something about a mask mandate somewhere being reinstated.
They also have some kind of news coming out on the 15th of September. I think it's maybe like a potential vaccine release. Let me figure out what that is. I'll post it in chat if I can find it.
I'm just talking about the rumor mill right now. Honestly. You almost can't take the news for news anymore.
Here you go. I mean, yeah, this is from CNBC, but 3 days ago, CDC expects new COVID vaccines from Pfizer, Moderna, and Novavax to be available in mid-September.
I've got mine. I've got. Let me give you my play on this Novavax real quick. I didn't end up buying that. I
30% of the time, it works every time.
I thought I bought the Novavax call. I didn't end up buying it. But now would be a good time to buy it.
I like Moderna a lot too. Like, just as a long-term play.
I just I think I like Novavax. Sorry to interrupt you. I think I like Novavax simply because they have high short interest, and they've been beaten down like really bad. And I think that if any kind of commercial success with a vaccine is going to make them springboard.
Yeah, and I also think if you're going to play NVAX, the best move here is to buy shares. It's at $8 a share. It's at it's very, very low right now. I mean, what is the high of the stock? 178 a share, something like that.
Yeah, it's super beaten down.
I traded options on it before it went really crazy a couple weeks ago, and I just really advise against it because I bought 922 calls, and the bid-ask spread was 100%. I'm pretty sure that has not improved at all. Novavax is down a little bit, so maybe that implied volatility is screwed off a little bit, but I highly doubt it. But I still made 400%, which is crazy. With that 100%, but I was it just sketched me out too much, so I sold last week.
Oh, I made 400%.
Yeah, wild. But my option would, it would have been great if I could have sold for what it said it was worth, which was like 120 at one point, and then it was like $60. I was like, this is bullshit, man. I can only get rid of this option for $64. It says it's worth 122.
That's what liquidity does.
Yep, you're absolutely right about that. Going back to my QQQ play, I've talked about this forever. I think it's more of just, I kind of want to try it this week just to sort of temper keep my hand out of the cookie jar, so to say, because I was trading NVIDIA after earnings, just like everybody else, every other retail trader. I'm like, oh, why didn't it work? And I've asked myself this question, and I don't know how many thousands of times, but I just want to focus on something that I know really well, and I know that I can trade well. So that's like my thesis with what I want to do with the QQQ.
We'll share incentive
Stick to
on it.
what you know. Get in where you fit in.
So stick with GME. No, I'm good. Novavax is excellent, though. Also, Carvana is over $40 a share. Don't
Yeah,
sleep
that's
on
it.
Carvana.
I think it would be a good trade, guys. Honestly, I think with if I know the government the way I know the government, they're gonna try and scare everybody right before the election.
I'm pretty bullish on SPY because I'm a firm believer, and all gaps must be filled, and that drop down is pretty rapid. I think we're going to try to fill that at least till 440 on the SPY. 444, I mean 444. $444 seems like a pretty solid relative resistance as well.
And do you know if Strictly Bear has calls or puts? And just inversion.
Probably has puts if he's really like how bad you guys say.
He had calls last week when puts were the move, so I think inversing Strictly Bear we figured out is a good strategy here on Wall Street Bets.
He did not want to share his year-to-date performance, so I'm thinking that's an indicator that he's not doing well.
Well, if you're mostly bearish, I mean, I just don't get, especially this year.
Oh, Full Cripple says he's down about 70% with 6 margin calls.
Is that real?
Yeah, I think he did post a few screenshots, but he doesn't like talking about it.
I'm down 98% on my riot calls.
Damn, bro. Dollar cost
I mean,
average.
it's like 200. That's
bad.
$200 for me. Yeah, that's like they're not. I didn't go ahead. I'm glad I didn't. But still, nobody likes losing 98% of their investment.
So what you're saying is it can really only go up from here. It sounds pretty bullish.
Exactly. It can only. It's yeah.
Check out UNG. UNG is on a rip up market, up 5.5%. United States natural gas fund.
Solid TA.
That Hawaiian Electric is up too. I wonder if that like the whole sector. What's Boyle doing?
It's pretty defensive, right? Gas being up 5%
Yeah.
pre-market.
Boyle
Is
is
it-
also up.
Is it a pump
7%.
fake? He calls on Boyle. I don't know, man. Pre-market is weird. Sometimes it's a pump fake, sometimes it's not.
Yeah, chart on Boyle is awful.
Does it have to do with there being less volume?
Well, some people say that like it's a preview of what the algorithms are going to do. But, that's just tinfoil hat type stuff. Bitcoin's up. That's pretty bullish. Just that anti-banks. Choice is yours. Just hope they buy Nvidia up today and run it back to 550 so I can get out of all these weird ass hedges.
Yeah, I got so wrapped up in the video on Thursday and Friday that I feel like I missed out on a couple of trades. Oh, I did very well Friday morning, but I just feel like I missed.
Whoever called out Nvidia puts on pre-market, I think it was trading ranges or whatever. It was like just buy puts, and he was 100% right.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty obvious.
Or the move. Yeah, it's obvious after the fact that everybody bought calls to buy puts the next day.
Listen, I just want to say that Don Cheadle definitely makes the best captain planet.
I sold calls on Nvidia. I wasn't gonna buy puts because
When did you sell the calls? Did you sell them 2 months ago? Because if so, you got blown out of the water.
I sold them around like 500. Yeah, I sold them at 500 around there.
Oh, nice. Good move.
Cheeto can drink bleach. That's not nice.
Dude, what's that show he did where he was the consultant?
Law and
He was
Order?
no, Don Cheadle. He was a business consultant. It's a really good show. Why can't I think of the name of it right now?
Anybody messing with VFS? I'm thinking to sell some calls on VFS, long dated calls. This company is not really worth anything.
So this is a market cap of $159 billion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's House of Lies, you guys. House of Lies.
Is this like an HKD situation that's going on with this VFS?
I feel like with VFS, because nobody could short it. That's what it looked like. I tried to short it. It said there's no shares on TD Ameritrade. So I think that's the problem.
Yeah, so it's like a HKD type, right?
I'm unfamiliar with that stock, so I can't say.
You mean a
What
scam?
happened to the Qs? Look at that dump on the Qs.
Is that just Robinhood?
That must just be Robinhood because I still. Oh, maybe I don't know. I'm up for whatever.
I
But
think that was probably like weird. That was weird. I see it though, but that's like an anomaly.
I think Papaya got the future told for him, and he revealed it to us.
I don't see that anywhere else.
I don't either.
And I've never trusted Robinhood's prices ever.
Oh, there's another one. I see it dropping here, but not like that. Not yet, at least. I mean, formal register. I'm cool with calls or puts on QQQ. That's the idea I'm running with. Because then trading just becomes very simple.
On Fidelity, it's up at 366.
Yeah, I got 366.54 right here.
53 for me.
Robinhood's weird because, like, you look at the percentage lost, it's like next to nothing, but they make the chart scale, basically scare you out of your position before the market opens. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the actual chart. It's up $0.57 pre-market. They put that big ass wick on there to try and get you to sell.
Oh yeah. They do it both directions too. Like Starbucks was up like 0.5% pre-market the other day, and it was just a straight vertical line. I was like, okay, I know there's a pumpkin spice rally. Oh, by the way, there's a pumpkin spice rally, Starbucks. But it's not that serious.
Is that like a sideways way of getting in on Gourds?
I guess.
Pumpkin spice gives you the runs. Calls on toilet paper. Calls on toilet paper.
So I got a sympathy play going on for the pumpkin spice rally for Starbucks. I went long cans of pumpkin spice flavored Spam. Once we're in full swing of pumpkin spice season, my plan is to just dump those on eBay.
That
Is that a thing that
horrifying.
Is that a real thing? Pumpkin spice spam?
It is.
Yes. They did a very short run of it 3 years ago.
Oh, so you have legacy cans.
Well, the nice thing is, since it's spam, if you got it 3 years ago, it still has about 377 years left of shelf life, so you're pretty good.
Yeah, correct.
Spam bags. God.
I see I'm not the only person that has watched that guy eat a ration from the Boer War on YouTube. Is that what you're referencing, Rad?
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Yeah, this guy eats a meat ration from a war that happened 110 years ago on YouTube. I was like, oh my god. He kept it down. I was impressed. It was still preserved.
I saw AVGO releases on Thursday. If y'all want NVIDIA sympathy play, I'm just thinking the reverse of last time. AVGO did move with NVIDIA, but obviously we all saw how that worked out last Friday. So I'm probably not going to play it, but it's just something to look out for. I think might be kind of interesting.
Broadcom also has an acquisition going with VMware, so keep that in mind as well. It's also a very interesting acquisition because VMware is trading above the acquisition price because it's a 4-to-1 share conversion. So it's actually more valuable because of the price of Broadcom to just hold the shares than the acquisition price.
Yeah, SMCI is probably the best sympathy played in for NVIDIA. I'll admit I was talking shit about it a few weeks ago. I didn't realize that super microcomputer, but that was super microcomputer and went from what was it 90 the last time I looked at it. Now it's at like 270. Crazy. Market cap only $13 billion too.
I posted the video just for you, Rad. And I even called out the timestamp of where you can actually watch the guy eat the meat ration from 1899. Anyway, Novavax. Yeah, I was sorry, I was just chatting earlier. Yeah, I'm in shares, and on September 11th, we will know if they're getting approval or not for this vaccine. And it'll be probably a make or break moment for the stock in the near term. But this is why I'm not doing options and I'm doing stocks, because I think even if they fail to get approval, I'm still going to long the election year variant and just hold on to the shares and see what happens.
So, Skull, that's one of those things where you've heard me talk before about buying in blocks of 200 and selling one covered call for every 200 shares I hold. When you have that binary event on September 11th, if it's going to make or break it, if it does break it, you can at least lower your cost average by collecting that premium on some out-of-the-money calls. And if it makes it, you'll still be selling higher than your cost basis, but you'll be exiting half your position into those covered calls for collateral.
That's a good play. I like that. I want to add that onto this.
So, something about Novavax to consider, provided that I'm remembering the right stock. If I remember correctly, they took a major hit because they were only doing international vaccines, and if I remember correctly, they were getting their vaccine produced in India, and in order to produce it in India, they funded it in a way that essentially meant that any vaccine sold in India, which is a major nation for COVID vaccines, the money didn't actually go to them. It went to the company that was actually like producing the vaccine, like making the vials of it. And I think that crushed their bottom line, and that was why they took that major drop. So I don't know if they fixed that for themselves.
Can you guys hear me?
No, not at all. Who said that?
It was me. The Novavax. Has anyone on this talk before the market opens gotten the Novavax vaccine in the U.S.? Anyone was speaking? Anyone out there?
I don't think it's available in the U.S. Wasn't it international only? Was
Well,
that its
it was-
purpose?
No. Well, there was news. I didn't get vaccinated because I was waiting for Novavax. And let me say that it said it's coming out to the U.S. You couldn't find it anywhere. It never was. But there was news that it was, going to be here or there, and it wasn't. And this time, if they get okayed, that's great. Because I bought Novavax at $248 a share. I mean, I sold it, but that was, crazy. But if they get okayed, will it come out to the U.S.?
I thought they were approved in the U.S. Anybody have any news on it?
I remember their business model being that they were going to be the vaccine for like the rest of the world. That they were focusing on not like Europe and the US, that they were going to focus on like other markets.
I guess there was so many different articles out there about it, but I'm wondering if this time, if the FDA approves those three, the Novavax will be in the U.S. Because, for me, it's from research, the only vaccine that I would get. But that's just
Here
me.
you go. The Novavax COVID-19 vaccine received emergency use authorization from the U.S. FDA for use to prevent COVID-19 in adults age 18 and older and adolescents age 12 through 17 as a primary series.
Is that new news or the old news?
And as this is February 13th, 2023. And as a first booster dose at least 6 months after completion of primary vaccination with an authorized dose. So yes,
Okay.
it is approved in the U.S.
All right, let's see if we find it. Let's see if it's anywhere. Let's see if it's going to be at Walmart or whatever. Let's just see what happens.
U.S. government and Novavax extend partnership, securing up to 1.5 million doses. This is from February 23.
Okay, I appreciate that, guys. Let's see what happens. I thought I read things like that when during the first, the first COVID. And by the way, schools are closing because of the COVID, rise. It's happening in Florida a little bit. Well, some in Ohio, places like that.
Yeah, I think Novavax shares is definitely a good play, you guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna get calls, but I think y'all have changed my mind.
Yeah, I'll be playing it. I want to make something back.
I just want to call out one other thing. We talked about JWN puts here last week. JWN, I had both $16 and $17 puts. It has now dropped down to $15.52. It has just plummeted. It plummeted some on earnings, then it stayed flat for like basically a day and a half, and then it just dropped off a cliff again, just taking a beating. I plan on exiting those shares this morning. As soon as market opens, I plan on exiting those puts, what remains of them. Thanks to Zombie Bear for that play. Zombie Bear was the one who brought that up here in the chat. So good job, Zombie Bear. Or Jim Bob Ted.
Yeah.
Ted. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to say it again. Keep an eye on new holdings. It's got.
Yeah. Okay. Pin has like a Duo play. I want to know more about this. What are you thinking, Pin? Oh, is it really? I didn't know that. So Duo is Temu? Interesting.
PDD is Temu? I'm bullish on Temu. I didn't lose enough money on Wish. I would like to do it again. So
Here's your
I'm,
chance, Skull.
I'm in.
You said PDD is Timu?
Yep, that's what he says.
Yes, it is. I'm waiting for the copyright lawsuits.
Damn, QQQ at 0.86 right now.
They got earnings tomorrow. PDD.
Puts on Camping World.
Camping World. What is Camping World? Jeez.
Yeah, that's a Rockstar favorite.
I think somebody was saying that Timu takes like a $10 hit on every sale.
Yeah, Timu is bleeding money, just it by itself, but it's part of the bigger company, so it's can bleed for a while.
What about Shein? What do you guys think about Shein?
What's the ticker for that?
I don't know, man. I don't know who they're owned by. Let me look. They're a Temu competitor.
See a formal register. This is why I like to wait. Like 10 minutes.
Oh, it's not public. It's not publicly traded. Oh, it's about to IPO. Shein is about to IPO. I'm wearing something from Shein right now. Yeah, it's about the IPO.
I bought so much stuff from Temu, like I've gotten in trouble with my wife.
Oh yeah, I just bought like a $300 laser engraver for like $78.
Yeah, it's great.
It's ridiculous. It's like how did they cannot they're just giving this shit away, man. They have to be selling it at what they're buying it for. There's no way like they can make profit on that.
Yeah, part of the secret sauce is they have a shipping agreement with a shipping company out of Indonesia, and that's allowing them to get stuff out of China at a dramatically reduced price. And so that's one of the ways they're able to do it. We did a deep dive on these guys a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago, and I that stuck out in my mind, and I remember it.
I see here that
Shein made $24 billion in 2022, almost as massive as well-known shops like Zara and H&M. They're about the IPO.
What? Oh, IPO. No ticker?
Yeah, they don't have a ticker yet. Said all last year they're going through negotiations for the IPO. How to buy Shein's IPO stock.
I've made about $5,000 in profit on buying from Temu and selling on my online. It's a very simple but version of Alibaba, but easier. It's much simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna wait on the Shein.
It's interesting you said you did that. I've been doing something similar with cosmetics, which is why I initially got in trouble with my wife until I let her have some of them. And now she's fine with it.
Whoa, not idiot bread.
Just buying cosmetics off of Temu and then reselling them. Yeah.
Women, if you own or sell jewelry or you own a restaurant, they love it.
Damn, these puts are expensive. Whoa, giant green candle from QQQ right there.
Good heavens, look at the time. It's time to lose some money. Here we go.
Oh, I've already started. Humacyte's up 5%.
Hell
Is
yeah.
that HUMA?
Yep.
Nice.
Noise.
28% on my QQQ call right now.
Wow, look at SPY go. It's just, look at it go.
Just look at it.
Up over 0.5% already.
Ooh, Jesus, it is humid in the south.
SPY's getting another little volume bump, even at this price. Look at it go. I'm just waiting to buy puts, 0 DTE puts on this.
46, 50%. Telling you, man, these 0 DTEs.
I'm just being a degenerate here.
What do you guys think about VEEV, Viva Systems?
I've never heard of it.
They're a vertical software stock. They do business consulting. More than 450 companies adopt Viva Vault ETMF for improved trial efficiency and inspection readiness. Looks like they got a forecast update about 2 months ago.
Absolutely see how it's going on.
Forecasted to grow their revenue 14% per year. I'm sorry, I'm just talking to myself here. I'm mute myself. Sorry, guys.
Up at 8% on that SPY 0 DTE, boys. Let's go. As soon as it hits over 10, I'm taking. And then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go play Baldur's Gate 3 after this.
Getting greedy.
A little bit.
Videos are bad. Tesla's going down. Tesla's going down. Get back almost all its pre-market gains. Damn man, should have sold earlier.
Oh, here we go. SPY 0 DTE, $4.37 strike puts, now up 12.5%. Taking 16%, 20%. Jesus, taking profits now. Holy shit. That's enough of that rodeo for one day. Am I right, boys?
That's too early to sell, isn't it?
If I can get this 20% profit, I don't think so. I'd be more than happy to make that every day. If I made that every day, I'd be retired in a month.
Take that profit and go, bro.
That's why I just want to trade the 0 DTEs. I just like them better. I've been trading them for a while. I'm gonna try to find some consistency with this. Admittedly, I wish I sold my call like 5 minutes before because it was up like 57%. I sold for like $1 loss. Not bad. Probably still sold too early on.
Stop using the baby oil. Screw the baby. You're not.
No, they have.
Damn.
I always love the random wife comments in the background, including my own on occasion.
You know, I feel so ridiculous. I've been on for a while, and I love Hardy, one of my favorite speakers. But I just realized what his name is. I'm so stupid.
Don't feel too stupid. It took me months to figure out. I was like, oh, haha, that's so brilliant.
He's brilliant. I mean, his voice.
Yeah, ask him his family's name.
If it helps, I thought his name was Hardy Redskins, and he was just a big Redskins fan for like the first week. So don't worry about it.
I feel much better now. Thanks, guys. I'm just kidding, but thank you.
Yeah, Mongoose. It took me seriously probably 3 or 4 months to figure that out myself from the Reddit talks.
He's a genius.
Even his puns are too smart for us.
How is that FOMC stock doing?
FOMO Corp.
Oh, let me tell you where I'm at with it. Let me tell you where I'm at with it. Hold on. All right. FOMC.
It's the FOMO, baby.
So what's the bull case this week? It's not completely fucked, but bear case is it's fucked.
Of my $5.50 investment, I am down $1.80, 33% on FOMC.
Man,
It like fluctuates.
You guys give me that stock pick, man. I buy it. Now I gotta throw my hat.
Pin that in the parking lot. I just looked that up. It's called Galloway Metals. The ticker is GAYMF. GAYMF. What a great ticker. What a find. Well done, pin that in the parking lot. Got a good laugh.
Oh, big drop.
Yeah, it's over, boys. That's the volume up for the day, it feels like.
Down 80% this week. Where's that guy? That'd be cool if we went down 80%. I would make like 1,000,000% on my put.
I heard that lack of an S at the end of your statement. Not puts on that put, eh?
Nah, I'm going for higher strikes and just I'm going to build up from there.
That's cool. You don't always have to get a bunch of options. Sometimes you don't have to get any.
Well, I want to buy like a few hundred shares on NVAX, but we got to open this. We got to announce our headliner for our show so I can get some money for that. Because then once we announce them, we'll sell out immediately. We'll have a little bit of cash.
Yeah, I think once the volume dries up around 10 o'clock, it's gonna dictate where we're going today.
Well, I see Tesla, which I thought was maybe be one of the strongest like tech mega caps moving pre-market is about to go red. Nvidia's down almost 1% now. Even Novavax, which was looking pretty strong, just broke through View app.
I like how it's not in Chinglish, it's like real English that you can understand. Oh, it's from Gab? Okay.
I think it's Novavax's time to shine. You all know the difference between Novavax vaccine and the RNA vaccine, right? I'm not going to get into this vaccine.
Wow, Nvidia is having not a very good day.
Anyone trading Hawaiian Electric?
I talked about it earlier. What's it? How's it doing? Is it up? Is it up 80% yet? 44.
It got halted. It's down a little bit from where it got halted.
Aren't they about to get PG&E'd?
They say it's not their fault, or it's like not as bad.
Yeah, that's what PG&E said as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, implied volatility is 200%.
When I lived in Hawaii, I both went to school there. Hawaiian Electric is a pain in the ass company. Really, I mean, services and billing. It's just a crazy company.
That sounds like every utility.
Yeah, Hawaii's like another little beast being on the island. But you're right. It's just maybe living on the base of Diamond Head had something to do with it.
Okay, Tesla's now red.
Yeah, but it's also up $10 from last week.
You know what's not up from last week? AMC. Oh, man. Holy shit.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah.
Just remember, if you bought AMC at $70 when it was a squeeze-in a couple years ago, you only need $700 share price to fix that.
I don't even remember a time where I saw that number. I think that's a foul. I think it was like getting hit with a flashbang. You're just like, what the fuck? And then it was at what, 30 the next day?
Yeah.
Core value 55.
I rode that AMC squeeze from $9 to $30, and then I was out. I didn't see 70. Holy shit!
You never saw $1 on the front side. You never saw that 87-cent share price in the summer of 2019.
Oh Jesus, no. I paid like $9 a share for it and rode it up to 30, and I felt pretty good. 80 cents would have been insane.
Just remember, the shorts haven't covered. The stock did the squeeze because reasons, and shorts have to cover.
It's all right. I got my Disney shares at $86. I thought I was doing good. And then it hit a 5-year low. What the fuck? Come on, Disney.
Skull, did you try to fuck with the mouse?
No, I tried to long the mouse. I just bought shares, dude. I'm still underwater. I'm gonna apply for
pretty good
on those earnings calls last year for Disney.
Let's see what Disney.
Let's. I just picked up some Novavax shares, guys. Grabbed them.
It's Novavax's time to shine.
It's doing well today.
God, I hope so. Let's ride it back up to 100. Have a good Christmas.
Are they already setting up for Halloween over there? Anything? Are like people setting up like their Halloween stores and what have you. Spirit Halloween making an appearance this early in the year.
Yeah, there's already a Spirit Halloween here in one of the malls, but I think that might be like a permanent Spirit Halloween. I don't know. It's got like a bunch of banners up out front.
I have my Halloween products on my stores already. Had them there for the last 2 weeks when they started to get the
Brutal. I just took this poll that was like, apparently MSNBC does polls now when you look at a stock ticker, and the poll was, is it time to buy Disney? And I was like, it sure is. And then like 70% of people say no. Here, I'll post the results in the chat. I'm going to take even more of an L. My poor Disney stocks. Oh well, I got a long time horizon on these, so it's all right.
I want to know, despite being pretty much fully liquidated, why is Bed Bath and Beyond still at 20 cents? You figure it'd be at 0, right?
I don't think we need to talk about that.
Because, I mean, there's just article after article talking about how it's worthless.
Everyone in the chat is like, oh my god, what I just walk in on? New stores open. If you trade BBBY, Q, you deserve to lose your money at this point. Practical Banjo.
Yeah,
Ooh! You guys see the GameStop candle? Yay! It's looking sexy.
Jim Bob Ted. Nice call on JWN. Fell off a cliff. I like that. I sold my puts.
I am let's see, 30% on my GameStop calls. What do you think? Think I should hold them?
You're up 20% and you're thinking it's going to go even higher?
30%.
30%? You're not going to take a little? I mean, I'm just wondering why you won't take a little unless you only have one call. If you have more than one call, I don't know why you wouldn't take a little bit at 30, right? Just to offset some of your cost.
Yeah, I just don't see it going back down. I see an uptrend all the way up into the day of earnings.
Yeah, the question is, like, if you think that momentum is going to continue and you think the volume is going to stay that high, right? But if the volume starts to die off, even if it stays high, you could see that options price start to go back down, you know? Something to think about.
How out of the money is your strike option? Because if you're like next dollar up and you think it could get there, then okay, go ahead, hold for a little bit. If you like did what Hardy said and you have like a $40 call that's up 30%, you might want to stop and realize like that's probably not going to get very close to 40.
No, this is a $19 call.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
Yeah, this is a $19 call. I think it's fully possible that it's going to go into the money. I almost want to guarantee that it's going to go into money before earnings.
When's your expiry?
9/8. I'm planning on selling it like on the 7th. day before earnings.
You'll lose all your theta,
So-
or all your profit to theta at that point.
The day
Yeah.
before earnings?
Well, you'll get the IV spike, right? But you're going to see your current 30% get worn down by theta, as LARPcan just said. Unless it just continues pumping all the way into earnings, which
You don't
seems
think
unlikely.
You don't think I should you don't think I should wait till at least like maybe Monday?
You can do whatever you want, but I'll tell you right now, you will have a very happy portfolio if you keep realizing 30% gains. But if you want to hold out for more, there's no problem with that. I can guarantee there's a large portion of this chat who were up 30%, held out for more, and found that number real red real quick.
That's true. That's true. Well, I think I'm just gonna hold them through. I think I'm gonna at least hold them through Wednesday. Let's see what the price action does through Wednesday. Maybe I can grab a little bit more. Maybe I can get up to 50. Because I mean, they're 2 weeks out. It's 2 weeks out, and I honestly don't see the price going down.
Look,
But you're right. You're right. You're so right. All of you guys are right. I'm stupid, and I should fucking sell them right now.
If it's an amount, honestly, if it's an amount of money where if it went to zero, you'd be like, well, it is what it is. Then yeah, hold and go for that run. If it's an amount where if it went to zero, you'd be bothered, then I'd be more conservative about it. It depends on how you'd feel about it going to zero.
So I run a 3D printing side business that is specifically to pay for my degenerate stock plays.
Yeah, but you got to think about it this way: you're taking your profits from your side business, and you don't want to lose them, right? You want to make more profits.
That's why I started it, was just so I could have fun money, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he's just offsetting his side business money, which is going to be taxed very high because it's second income, with stock losses. What he's really doing is just playing the tax man. It's very wise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a definitely a silver lining way to look at it.
Oh no, it is a highly regarded way to look at it. That was. Please don't think there was anything smart about that statement. I was screwing around.
Hey man, hey, I can't disagree with that. So.
I took my SPY 0 DTE profits when they were above 20. Of course, that was the 0 DTE, but I was trying to sell them at 10, and then it jumped all the way up to 20, and then I took. But
yeah, within like seconds, right?
Yeah, it was nuts.
I took my Hasbro profits at
here?
13%. Sometimes you just want to take the gains.
There he is.
Now
Daddy.
it's
Daddy chair. Their daddy chair.
I was going to go play Baldur's Gate, but instead I think I want to clean my office. I need to get it nice and fancy before next week.
Baldur's Gate is really good, though, Scald.
I bought it on Steam and I haven't played it yet.
It's shockingly good.
Oh man, you're really selling me on not getting to work here.
No, clean a little bit. Clean if you want. I'm just saying, like, if you like D&D in the slightest, it's the closest you'll get to a single player D&D experience.
Oh, here we go. I'm up 40% now.
Okay, are you going to take now that you're up 40%?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna sell one of them. I got 3. I'm gonna sell one of them.
All right. Think about it that way. You reduced your costs on your other 2 by 20% each. 20% off your other 2 calls.
Hey.
If you sold 2 of your 3, you'd be reducing the cost on that last one by a bunch.
Never sell, only take realized losses. beat
Right.
70% on the week. Then go down 90. It doesn't matter.
Buy high, sell low. That's the only way to trade.
Sell? I don't know her. Get a sign.
Sell her, I hardly know her.
I think you should. I think the real solution is to DRS all your options so they can't take them from you after expiration.
Ooh, here we go. 45. 45, right before I sold it. Nice.
Hey guys, hey Skull, opinion.
Hey George.
Have you guys seen this move on VinFast? 5-day move from $25 to $75.
Georgia, weren't you talking about Hawaiian Electric? It's up 37% right now.
I'm sorry?
I thought you were the one who talked about a Hawaiian Electric.
Yeah.
Figures HP.
Yeah, I mean, Hawaiian Electric is about that play is mostly about understanding how human beings react when they're devastated, and then and how they come on and how they start interacting with the world afterwards. So if you see Hawaiian Electric, they made a legal statement. Yeah, I was in on the stock. It's super undervalued, unless they get sued. Now, that fire killed 1,000 people.
Oh,
it definitely killed 1,000 people, and there's also footage. Okay, so I wasn't just playing the charts; I was playing like the emotional aspect. There's footage of a giant spark. It's coming off power line, and then they have these footage. It's camera footage. I don't know exactly where from. Some of it's government, some of it's from people's houses, but that's where the forest fire starts. You know, and they were literally like trying to escape it, and then ended up in a blocked road. And they ended up just getting out of their car and going into the water, really, like just random places. And the pavement was so hot that it would melt your shoes, and it would definitely burn your. The pavement's not on fire, even though like blacktop, it will burn. You get it hot enough, but that's how hot it was. So
did you guys see all the nonsense about like direct energy weapons? Them talking about like how like trees, how trees still have leaves on them, but like the cars underneath the tree is melted. It is weird. I mean, I'll give them that. Like the car under the tree is melted, but the tree is not burned at all.
So what are you saying? Like the Chinese shot a ray gun from space or something?
No, they are saying that America did it. We did it to ourselves. So there's basically it's really a conspiracy theory. They're saying that there's this giant array, like telescope in Antarctica, where there are these giant nodes like buried in the ice, and it makes a giant
directional antenna.
Yeah, a giant directional antenna. And they're basically saying that instead of receiving, they can transmit with it. And they're saying that they used it to melt Maui, so all these like rich people could come in and get the land for nothing. And they're basically saying like the only people that lost on the island were poor people. All the like multimillionaires that lived up in that area, nothing happened to their homes. I think a bunch of weird coincidences. The millionaire homes are usually have a lot of their property cleared. They're bigger
No, I mean,
properties.
well, I see a
They're
lot.
not in the same area.
Yeah,
see-
they're in the same area. Exactly. Yeah, I think there's just coincidences. You know, there's definitely an explanation for why a tree didn't burn in the car underneath it over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
It's a
bought one of those.
conspiracy theory.
How is this related?
I
how
bought
is
one
this
of those
related
ray
to-
guns on Temu for $89.95.
Are you out melting shit right now?
So, I mean, so as far as I'm concerned, those were the and those continue to be the major a few of like the top
A little
20.
update, guys, on the WGA rider strike, SAG strike. Again, it's going to go on for I think another year and a half or more.
Georgia,
thing
were you trying to say something? I think
I'm
he
sorry,
gave
say
up.
that again.
I think Georgia was trying to say something, but you guys kept talking over him. But I think he gave up.
I think he was talking about the writers' strike going on for another year.
Well, guys, if VinFast, if that's a legitimate automobile company, I mean, they just tripled in 5 days. You know. So
Then what? What's the ticket?
In a week, they tripled. They went from $25 to $75 to $80 this morning. That's just 5 days.
What's the ticket?
VFS.
Victor Frank Sierra.
They listed at
Fantastic.
$10 2 weeks ago. That's crazy.
Wow.
There's no
I'm
short,
a-
there's not really any short shares available, and you can't buy puts or nothing. So that's probably why.
Right. There's right now. There's no options because, at least they shows no options being traded.
I've never even fucking heard of.
Yeah, it's some I think Vietnamese company.
Never
Yeah.
heard of them, bro.
Yep.
Third world's third most valuable automaker. Never heard of them. How about that?
But I mean, I don't care if they're like Vietnamese. I mean, so long as the stock goes up. You know, it's moving. That on the Hawaiian Electric play. Okay. I'd be like, that's an emotional play. Okay. So if you're like a chart reader, this is a bad time to be a chart reader because it's going to be based on announcements and how people feel about it. So they're going to have probably a class action lawsuit.
Who?
Yeah, they will definitely have that. So, but it'll take a year to get organized. Now they can file it relatively quickly. So, you see what I'm saying? It's a short-term bull. It's a medium term. It's a medium time period watch, and then it's probably a bear. And when it's all said and done, I probably would buy it down at the bottom. So I mean, you gotta like run that through your head. I mean, that's those are expensive. That's expensive equipment that they own. And so, if you want a piece of that, you know, you gotta understand how human beings react to tragedy. You have to like have seen it with their own eyes and so forth. But
what are we talking about?
I was bringing those up. VinFast, Hawaiian Electric, and VinFast vehicle manufacturer.
What's the Hawaiian Electric play?
The Hawaiian Electric play is essentially that you had a power company.
I think Alo and then Ha.
Yeah, well, basically, I think but I mean, we should have called that they were going to have they're going to have to take some type of legal position because they had video.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the company. I'm sure the company has some video, but the citizens have video of it, of their power lines sparking. And honestly, it's probably really not their fault. They just had high winds and something didn't go right. So anyway, volatility.
Oh, so they think the power company set the fire?
Yeah, it's an electric power company that started a fire in Maui, Hawaii.
Well, it's like negligence, right? It's the same story as PG&E in California. It's a negligence claim.
They don't want to say that, but what's going to end up happening is you have the who goes out there. Every agency is going to be out there doing some sort of inspection.
Hey, can you turn your mic up?
Oh, sorry, my baby was screaming in the background earlier, so I had to turn it down just a little bit because you can hear me.
We actually can individually turn them up.
So, from what I was trying to say is, back in 2021, at the end of the year, Boulder caught on fire, and it was probably the largest fire that we've had today in Colorado. And what ended up happening was in the initial, let's blame the power company because we have evidence of a power line being down due to high winds, and we think that this spark caused everything else. Well, it really is a matter of it's not a negligence problem there, but you cannot say that there is one factor in a fire of that scale, unless there's a 0.0 from where the fire started, which obviously we can't see that yet.
But
so they're gonna have every agency, the EPA, the ATF will, literally every agency will be out there looking at these things. And
there's a very old philosophy that was partially invented, okay, by oh man, crap.
Well, you're in the Matrix, bro.
In the Matrix.
So there's
I was in the Matrix. Right, there was a video of a wire falling. In Hawaii, the fire that caught the forest on fire, the trees on fire.
I didn't hear any of that, bro.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out pretty good.
It's muffled. It's just muffled. I hear you. It's just muffled.
Yeah.
He is cyberpunk.
That's not reverberation, but that's scatter. Your digital signal is bouncing off something metallic. Either that or there's a motor nearby. But one of the things I was saying is when it comes to these Hawaiian Electric plays, there's a very old. I was giving him an opportunity to come back and say what he wanted to say. But there's a very old philosophy it's called the dichotomy, which means the splitting into two. It's called the dichotomy of our minds. Okay, so you have a left hand, you have a right hand. That's just splitting into two. It's called a dichotomy. You have mitosis of cells. That's also dichotomy. It splits into two. And if you want to go home, you can go left. You can go right. I can keep on going. Stocks go up, they go down, or they do something else. But it's either up or down in the mean term. And so when you apply this to human emotions, these moves with these lawsuits, they're semi-predictable. You should be able, with some experience, you should be able to predict them.
Can you hear me now?
It's better. Yeah, it's better.
Keep going, Georgia.
Yeah, well, that's all. In the short term, I'll probably.
What's the play? Yeah, give me the play, Georgia.
Oh, my play is really good. Mine will be good. The play. short Hawaii, put in an order for 100 shares short Hawaiian Electric at about 14.75.
Hey, did anybody get into Novavax?
I did. Yes, I bought shares.
How you doing, brother? Pretty good, huh?
Hey, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Are they moving?
Yeah, they're moving.
Yeah.
They sometime
Yeah, boy.
this week they should get FDA approval. They're getting extra
boy.
funding from the government. They're going to be starting to roll out and push and distribute vaccines in 2 weeks, and they're already they've got everything ready. Canada's already purchased a whole bunch. I don't know if it was Novavax specifically, but they've already purchased a whole bunch of vaccines. A lot of fear getting drummed up about the new COVID variant on Twitter. So the catalyst dates I'm looking at are September 12th and mid-October. So by September 15th, I'll be out of the play, and then I'll get back in sometime in mid-October.
What are the reports on this new COVID variant? It's my understanding that these things tend to get more contagious but less deadly over time. Are we just?
Yes, that is
the
true.
proper? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, but that's true. This one though specifically is.
Well, they're giving it a look-see. I mean, they
When
don't
they-
think it'll be anything like that, of course, but it's still on the. It's up about 30%, but still they're on the look-see. They'll know in another weeks, month.
But what's the reporting right now? What are they saying about this strain right now?
They're not.
They're saying that the shots do not help Eris. Number 5. The only shot that helps is Novavax.
Really?
I bought 30 shares. That's what I'm in for. I only got 30.
I'm in for 1,000. Lightweight, baby. I mean,
Ooh.
seriously, it's easy to hold when it's up this freaking much. My share price is $7.99. I brought during that 15-minute dip a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who didn't get in, Slut Spoiler? Slut Spoiler still up here? Where's he at? Get up here, Slut. What you doing?
Well, just call him a slut. This is all right. Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
There were two of us that were like, we're going to get in right at $8, and then it broke down below $8, and then I went in and the other guy didn't. And I was like, are you in? He was not.
What's institutional?
I just bought
interest
10
at?
more.
Like, who's buying up the big blocks?
The information that I have is that my girlfriend works at a school with about 1,100 students in it. Hey. And
sorry, guys.
They sent 3 kids home, and one of them tested positive.
I can't hear Georgia. I can't hear Flood either.
Is anybody in here?
Yeah, what's up?
No.
Oh, we just had an awkward 15 seconds of silence. I was like, what are we?
I'm considering if I want to
ahead.
sell covered calls on my Novavax position to continue reducing my cost basis.
If you think they're getting FDA approval, maybe.
Oh yeah, they are. At least I hope they are.
A little
Or it's
birdie
going to
told
be
me
a.
if you
It's going to
think
be
they're
a.
going to get covered, then might as well
They
sell.
are.
It's going to be an $8,000 mistake if they don't.
Well, you're not gonna. It's not gonna go to zero.
No,
You
it
know,
won't.
but
You still, if that's why I'm buying shares, because even if they don't get approval now, I think the election year variant will come out. The election year, and then everybody will be talking about COVID again as the election heats up, and that'll spike again.
That'll be a hugely polarizing issue too. I think there'll be a lot of people that will refuse to take vaccines going forward.
Thank you very much.
No, you didn't come in at all. It was muffled. You have next to something metal or a motor.
Yeah, speaking of people refusing vaccines, we got a measles outbreak here because people are refusing to vaccinate their kids for measles. Like, what the shit? This is a completely preventable illness that is now killing kids here in this city. Nuts.
Yeah, right. They stopped giving the measles vaccine.
No, they still give it. My little one just got it a little bit ago. My wife texted me and was like, "There's a measles outbreak." I'm like, "We don't care." MMR booster, buddy. Measles, mumps, rubella.
Well, then, what's the one that they stopped? I mean, of course, they stopped the smallpox vaccine. Yeah, well, yeah. There's one that they stopped. I think it might be smallpox.
It was smallpox because they've eradicated it, so they don't have to vaccinate people anymore. Because there's only 2 samples in the world. One's in Russia, and one's in the United States. So as long as it doesn't escape the lab, we don't need
They're all
smallpox.
variants of hepatitis.
I think your Novavax play is a good play because I think that
a little Florida news for you guys. BSO helicopter crashed through the roof of, it looks like, an apartment complex.
Stock play. I'm gonna short that real estate investment trust. That specific one. By the way, Skull, I'm in all the other vaccination companies, Vacinex, and then okay.
Let's make some money on this Novavax play, y'all. Dang it.
Good, did last week. Kind of regret selling though.
So I don't think there's a exodus of healthcare workers. I think that the government's just stopped. You know, they're stopping funding to the labor costs of healthcare. Is what I think. Less doctors now. If you want to be a doctor, you want to get your residency, you have to go somewhere else. You can't really do it.
You know what industry's in trouble, dude, is construction.
I live with like about 10,000 doctors. I'm in doctor capital of the planet.
You're in Rochester, Minnesota.
No, I'm in Decatur, Georgia, in Emory.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're right. You're right next to me. I'm in Buckhead.
Yeah.
You got all them CDC headquarter doctors, right?
well, the thing is about the people that I've known, the people that I have known in the CDC, I've lived twice. My neighbors have been. They always go to like
from Colorado. Pretty good.
They're always the ones that volunteer to go to Nairobi and stuff. I don't know. They want to travel and live life. They don't know. They have young children and stuff. So they aren't like the true academic. You know, there's money doctors. There's academic doctors. They're different breeds. And what one what a couple of the doctors told me is that if you want to be a doctor, and I've gone to school for everything else, so I'm not doing that. But like become like a this gender change doctor, so you can do like these gender transformations, and then they say there's like a fortune to be made in it.
You have to take a fucking blood pact, and then you gotta go stand in a black box and then wait for your orders and some crazy shit. I would never. That's the thing is surgeons, especially resident surgeons. When was the last time you went to a doctor's office in America and saw a resident American-based surgeon? You know, whether that be black, white, or other indigenous American. You know, like an actual like someone who's like from the. Because it's just not possible.
No, well, now hold on. Now, see, I have Emory University here.
Yeah. ERs have resident doctors.
You say like
resident
we have,
surgeons.
Yeah, no, we have.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
There's like loads and loads of overeducated people in like in the area that I love. Neurosurgeons, cardiovascular surgeons, and there's researchers, and then there's surgeons, and then there's people that see the public, which are they're public consultants. But I mean, it's pretty ridiculous when you have like a PhD and then like 2 or 3 master's degrees. Pretty absurd, you know. And like seriously, the guys are like they're pushing 30. They're not even like 30 yet. And
yeah, but that provides no benefit to the real world. You know, everybody can go to school and get 10 master's degrees, 30 master's degrees. But if you're never a part of the labor force, then you're just a succubus. You don't really contribute anything. That's the problem with the education system. Like, at least when you're a doctor, you're like, you know, you're a medical PhD. You know, you're going for your JD. Anything like that. If you're actually in these like fields, you're going to be contributing to the labor force. It is easy to get a degree when you have all the time in the. And what you find typically is that most Americans can't afford a regular education, let alone a doctoral education or a medical doctoral education. Because by the time you're into it, you've lost your money hand over fist, and you have to sell out to pharma. You have to sell out to, you know, biomed. You have to sell it to some corporation, or you have to sell it to some agency or healthcare management company, so that way you can pay your fucking way back to live, or actually to even survive, for that matter. So that's the problem with that's the problem with the medical healthcare system. You know,
hold on.
I live by a bunch of hospitals in Taiwan, and if I was to become a doctor, I could do it in half the time here and have the same education for less than 1/3 or 1/10 of the price.
I mean, I know a heart surgeon who's about to clear his debts 2 years into working. Like, you can make like $750,000 in certain surgery occupations.
Yes, but that is a surgery. That the cost to run ratio would be like if you were to buy a $20,000 Range Rover. Okay, it's 15 years old, and every year you have to put $90,000 worth of maintenance in it, or else that car doesn't even turn over and start and drive down the road. To be a doctor is to do the exact same thing, but at the end of those 9 years, if you didn't put $90,000 into it every year, then they just take away your car. It'd be like the bank would just repossess it. It wouldn't make any sense. And then they won't find that they get jobs as senior as they would like. Yeah, that's the problem with the labor force right now. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, you know, like one of the higher paid or higher educated professionals in this country that requires, you know, like due diligence and state and government testing. You know, like you have to pass regulatory exams. Even if you do pass these, your job will not be as senior as you, because the legacy systems in place to make these things possible are so entrusted in like the good old boys that it's just not. You're just not going to get paid the way you need to.
Yeah,
so it becomes like
The one thing I would say, here's like
I have to make connection to an industry to prove that I have something that you can do. I mean, no, you don't have to contribute to any industry to prove that you can, you know, make a say. If you're a doctor, like this is the thing. The highest distribution of degrees is childhood education,
there are more people with childhood education degrees than most any other thing in this country. And why is that? Because there's always going to need to be teachers for early education because people are just going to keep having kids.
No, look. Now. Here in Atlanta, not only do we have the CDC here, but at like Emory University, okay, it's the campus is surrounded by nice houses. That is true. So there are some true things to what you're saying, but there are individuals that have unique ideas and brain surgery and other varieties of surgery that got multiple degrees at Emory and now teach at Emory, and they never even they didn't pay a dime. No one ever paid a dime. They scholarshiped their way in. They did grants while they were doing it, and now what they do is they get money for the school for trying, like say somebody comes out with a new robotic type surgery, which has actually recently happened, and they go and they test these things out, not on a patient. They test them out with other requirements, and then they do this whole undertaking. It's mostly all academic. Yes, there is a lot of money to it.
A lot of it is innovation. So, like, if I was to go in to become a surgeon, surgery looks a lot different now than it did 50, even 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Scholarshiping your way into any sort of academia is fucking bullshit. Unless you're young Sheldon and you come from nothing and you can't afford these degrees. FAFSA still isn't going to cover your cost of living, let alone your tuition.
I don't know.
If I was to go back to school, I couldn't even qualify for federal aid because I didn't take enough classes the one semester I finished.
Look.
Like of my master's program, of my master's program, I couldn't even finish. It would take another $90,000 out of my pocket to even make a noticeable difference in my credit hours.
I would have to go back and pay for my own classes to be able to get back on government assistance. I got the same thing going on.
And it doesn't matter like where you come from, because 99% of people need government assistance to pay for education, because it doesn't make sense for an institution that provides and demands such a high, a low skill floor of education with such a high skill ceiling that they cannot provide free education to people. It shouldn't even come to this idea of people being, having their loans re-incentivized or, being dropped back. Just have a dad that teaches it. No, because here's the thing. Some people don't even have dads. Some people don't even have free. No, free does mean what you think it means, because you can go anywhere outside of the U.S. and free is $1,000.
Hold on. Okay, listen. Hold on now. Look, I understand that you're very convinced. Okay, but just let me give you a couple cases in point. Okay, my father had a PhD, and he mostly got grants and scholarships. Okay, now the guy's like 82 now, and he did artificial intelligence. So when you hear about artificial intelligence, he was doing that in the 70s. Okay, in the late 70s. Okay, and some of the time he had to go to his professor, because he had relationships with his professor, and I can't afford the place that I live. It's not doable for me. And they would come and try to help him. They'd talk to the faculty and the staff. There's a network of getting things through academia that they don't put in books, that you don't subscribe to. You don't look it up. You just gotta know the right guy. If you have if you're electronics.
Yeah, like I said, it's about who you know, not what you know. You can always get, I could get into Harvard tomorrow, but that doesn't mean I want to talk to the motherfucker that can get me into Harvard. You see what I'm saying? It's not about that.
All right, so that's my father. Then I have a brother. Okay. Then I have a brother that went to William and Mary for his undergrad, and he never paid a dime. Not even a dime. He had a full scholarship to go there. That's the reason why he went there. And he studied English. He happened to like to read, and he liked to write eloquent interpretations of what he was reading, which led him to a PhD. And then now he's at the University of Illinois. But it's like the same story. All right. How about a friend that I came across, okay, that I've made, is a neurosurgeon at Emory, okay? And, well, he's a brain surgeon, okay? So he can make tons and tons of money, but he actually specifically chooses to work at Emory. So he teaches classes, but then he also conducts research and then does surgeries, actually. And he's an epileptic specialist. And so what he's trying to do is a very difficult thing to do. He's trying to make people that will almost certainly die live, you know? So this guy got divorced, okay? So, like, his net earnings, like, he was making $500,000 a year, which is what everybody thinks they want money. But when you have money, the only thing, I will promise you, the only thing that happens is you augment the problem that you already have. Whatever problem you have, maybe you know what it is, but maybe you don't know what it is. But you essentially just...
So the only problem with contributing to the system is that not enough people can be of benefit to the system if they don't receive the correct, the correct assistance. So I guess the best way to put it doesn't matter if you get scholarship. It doesn't matter if you get scholarship. It doesn't matter if you're paid the right amount. It's not an equitable system. If your wife and you are both have student loans and you divorce, how come the loans aren't split up evenly? If you're married, you see what I'm saying? It's not an equitable system in the right senses. So if I was to become a doctor and my wife is taking my doctor's salary and I have student loans, how come that when we divorce she gets to keep half the mortgage but she doesn't get to keep half my student?
Well, life isn't equally equitable.
Because it's debt you acquired.
Yeah.
Or,
but if you bear it for a while.
Or you marry.
If you bear things for a while, you'll be okay. Especially if you're interested, I think, in other people, and if you're interested in something like productive. I mean, if you're literally in existence to cause other people problems, then your days are numbered. But I mean, if you're actually in it for community and in it for self-growth, yeah, then I think people recognize that. And at least in the terms of my father being a professor and all these guys that I just mentioned. They come to the assistance of people, and they can get the rules bent a little bit for individuals that know something, but it's a sense of the human being,
I think what you were trying to say is that once you have money, you don't search for money anymore. You search for meaning.
Well, I think
that's what you were trying to say earlier.
Right, but I think each of the people that I mentioned, they found meaning without having the money. That's also true in each one of their cases.
Well, some people may not ever even get the chance. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs at some point. And when you have such a well-educated population, on most things, shelter and safety are already provided. So if money is, it's a deliberate measure to make it to where you can't have those things to a certain point. Sorry.
I don't know about that. It's just a medium of exchange. Honestly, it's just they're trying to measure stuff, and they're specifically money is more about measuring stuff for people who can't really count adequately very much. I mean, all right. I mean, like I could rob you, right? I could rob you, or I could not rob you. So, like, how much is it worth to you? Well, how much is it worth knowing someone that never even would consider that is actually genuinely interested in your life? It's a lot more interesting when you're interested in learning about your environment, because trust me, human beings are wrong most of the time. They don't get it. They don't even understand the variety of things that they are. Aristotle, Socrates, and Plato, they all say so. And it's inherently true in our experience. That's just the way
I like
it's always been.
I like the philosophical direction our conversation's taken this morning.
Oh, well, the philosophy.
I like it. No, I like it, man. Keep on keeping on, man. It's cool.
When it comes to me, the philosophy is specifically directed at profit motive while I'm on here. Like Hawaiian Electric. They make a legal presentation and it goes up. It should have been foreseen. Okay. And so it'll probably rise. So it's probably a bull. I wouldn't do options on it because the timing here is the element, right? The timing when something happens is actually the element in Hawaiian Electric. So kind of yourself.
Are any of you guys out there getting news on the Florida Pompano Beach helicopter crash?
But
say that one more time.
Yeah, but what move?
If you can hear me, have any of you gotten news on the helicopter crash in Pompano Beach, Florida?
Well, I'll look it up and put myself on mute and I'll look it up. I'll let you know.
What about that? Did you hear about the shooting over this weekend in what was it, Jacksonville?
That's South Florida. Pompano Beach. That's got to be South Florida.
No,
Let me ask you guys a question. Would y'all real quick? Let me ask you guys a question. This is not related to this at all. Would you guys drink fruit juice that's like Minute Maid fruit juice that's expired by like a week?
Yeah, I would also drink it straight from the molded fruit. It wouldn't really affect you. You know, it's a juice. So, the thing I made before I was, trying to settle the baby down is that it's not about, wanting to take handouts from the government. It's the fact that our government gives out handouts, but the right people don't get them. We have a large majority of our population that is economically disparaged, and every year the income gap grows larger. So if you're expecting people to contribute equally in the workforce and people are all created equal under the Constitution, then how come some people who are probably more capable of being doctors because they're wanting to be a doctor, like it's their desire, it's like their fulfillment to be a doctor. How come that they don't ever get the chance to be a doctor? Because these institutions tell them that they can't afford to even pay they can't pay the subscription fee to access the information.
All right, so
because if you want to talk about fulfillment, we have capital punishment for that kind of thing. If you want to think about the people who can actually contribute to the labor force and not be malevolent in the fact, a lot of these people aren't those who are wealthy. A lot of those people aren't those who come from the middle class. It's a lot of the people who are economically disparate. The people who actually want to make a change are probably never had change in life. The people who are the ones that sit up there and can talk about how the government people.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Why would you trust a government to run something for you when they can't even make the decision on how to keep it being fucked up?
No,
I think that's equity. I think that's equality. That's the equality versus equity argument.
No, because the government controls. The government doesn't direct. Okay, humans direct things. That's our freedom. Okay.
Well, no, that's not true. You have to remember Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you can't get off your ass, figure out next, then there's no choice.
Well,
You know, if you don't have the means to do something next or have motion, then you can't
Right.
do shit.
right.
If you don't have the education to figure out how to keep yourself healthy or to how to keep yourself from, losing your own personal best interest because you have to, succumb to survival, then you can't do anything.
Systematic disparity.
The system, there is systematic disparity, and it's not just on the day-to-day level. It's on the economic level. It's on the nutritional level. It's on the public systems level. So
dude,
there is not an effort disparity, because if everybody was healthy and able, then there would be people who would be able to contribute equitably. If people were healthy and able and weren't having to putting into their bodies because the government provides them, food stamps that only work for fucking General Mills.
All right, hold on. Look. One of the things that I can say is that stomping around Emory University with all these doctors and nurses and what have you, is that on multiple occasions, I've seen these young males, or even 40 years old, even 50 years old, and they'll take me aside because they don't recognize my philosophy. They don't recognize what I've done. They don't recognize me. Actually, they should, because I'm famous, but they don't. And they go, "Hey, so like right when you think that you're going to fail, they draw this chart like on a napkin, on a restaurant or something. Just when you think that they have a dotted line on the bottom, and it's like just when you think when you're going to fail, if you can just persist, and then you'll achieve. And I suppose that they're talking about I suppose they thought that was in school to be a doctor.
Can we switch back over to more stock market related stuff, please?
Yeah, we're getting a little.
Yeah, we're in the weeds right now. Let's get back into stock market stuff.
Gladly, but
we're getting existential here.
Oh no, that's what I was saying. Is if we could educate the population, or at least educate one other person as to how a little bit of financial and a financial instrument works, then I think you can make a more of a difference now than ever. You look at California when you told people that they have money that's owed to them in the bank and the bank doesn't have their money, why don't you go get it? And then 2 banks shut down.
I'm listening to Eyes of the Valley though. So one of the things that I came on here to do is try to get due diligence on VinFast. Okay, because come on, guys.
So if we're talking about something, let's look at the let's do the old follow the money scheme. If you were to look at the only VinFast store in America that I have ever seen, it was at Century City Mall in Los Angeles. It didn't open, it was just an advertisement when I was there. But if you look at just the market or the type of people that would spend their money at this place, who do you think their target audience is?
That bodes actually well for them, because who would spend their money on Nike shoes?
Everybody in the world would spend their money because everybody has feet. Not everybody lives where you need a VinFast vehicle.
What is the?
I say that not everyone has feet. I don't mean to be.
What is the niche?
There's 2 other car dealerships, digital car dealerships, Tesla and Lucid, in this mall. What makes VinFast any better?
Oh, do you think I'm for them? No, I'm not for them.
Sometimes you don't have to be better.
I'm giving you your due. What percentage of the market share are they going to take up? What's their PE going to look like?
Sometimes it doesn't matter about as much about being successful as it is more about just being included in the conversation.
Yes.
So if they're being included, with Tesla and Rivian, then I mean, the people are going to buy them. That's all there is to it.
Not only that, but when it's time to short, if you short them, it's as good as owning Tesla from day one.
Yeah, and then I want to say this for a fact about these places. If you go to this mall, we'll say Century City is the actual. I've never been to another place in the world that has such a diverse selection of retail retail selection. Every successful company has either been there, but also every unsuccessful company's been. Every unsuccessful startup has been in this mall. Every successful startup has been in this mall. And
okay, so they cheese it up and what? Go ahead. Go direct, man.
I mean, you want my due diligence opinion? It's fucking bullshit. Any company that you see that comes out with a fat startup evaluation in the past 3-4 years, maybe except for like a handful, like one or two, and you could even, if your third eye was blind, you could sit there and you could look at this and say, wow, that company's bullshit, or this one might be a good company. So it's not a matter of if, and it's a matter of when. When will this company go? When will this overvalued, overinvested venture capitalist startup company derive any sort of revenue, any sort of profit sharing, any sort of profit for that matter?
No.
When will they go the way of? When will they
go the way of yesterday? 3 sheets in the wind.
Carvana. That's what I want to know.
Okay, that's what. Then don't fucking bullshit me around. If you want them to go Carvana, it just takes about 15 to 20 regards to put enough money in and to have the right position and to publish the right FUD article. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
I think that so far people are correct on it. They might be wrong. I don't know. I'm looking into it.
How do we find the general consensus of a company? We're not voting for companies, We have to find.
When do they go the way of Mullen?
Well, Mullen's like shit on the bottom of your shoe. You say, "Ooh, what the fuck is this?" I'm not trying to say this to be rude,
but they're still being included.
Mullen doesn't make. So here's the thing: startup companies don't make products. They make venture capitalist money. That's it. That's all that startup companies do. Startup companies in today's day and age are not about making a product or making a service or selling a service. They're about making initial investors money. Everybody else is getting fucking skimmed off. That's it.
I'm still up 300%, and so
on the buy side or the sell side, or on the short side.
No, on the bull side, on the buy side. Yeah, absolutely. Only on the own shares, because you can't trade options on them, apparently at this moment. But
you can write your own options. You can sell your own.
All right, you guys.
You can write your own options.
We got Disney's having a good day. Pac West is having a good day. Let's see.
Thank you, Nerdbond.
We got Starbucks having a pretty good day. General Electric, we're up 1.5%. All right, just throwing some other tickers out there.
Yeah,
we got Wolf. I'm so bullish on Wolf. Wolf is up 3.
Let's take a moment to reflect.
Almost 4%.
Banjo says Invax is going up for some reason on no news. Now let's use our logical conclusion. If we're talking about Invax in the Discord,
they're coming back down,
and they're talking about it in the Discord or in the Reddit forum. What can we draw from that effect?
You think it's a meme pump?
I think. Well, I'm not saying it's a meme pump. I'm saying it's a means of a.
Any company that has 40% short interest is going to be talked about on Reddit. Period.
Is Mom here?
I mean, don't they have 40%? Isn't it at like 40% short interest on that stock?
I mean, if we were to get 40% of this group in there to short it, I think we can make a good bit of money, but it's not about that.
I think Novavax is a good play, especially with the election coming up and more COVID's being talked about more and more. And
they're sending kids home. COVID.
Yeah,
They're sending kids home probably because they don't have enough fucking teachers.
Well, they
Teachers
also
don't get paid enough, so they're like, oh shit, we gotta send.
I mean, that's a whole nother argument. They are sending kids home, and I believe a basketball player was just put on medical leave and couldn't play because of COVID.
NBA.
Yeah, I want to say NBA. Yeah.
But wait till football season starts up and it's titty fucking cold out there, and everybody's standing outside in the rain. And you know, if they're gonna hear the age-old saying, "Oh, if I don't have my, I can't go out to the football game and stand in negative 20-degree wind chill weather." I gotta wear my mask. I gotta have my hot chocolate. And that's why to say
they're coming back down. They did have a nice candle this morning, but it looks like they're coming back down to about 850.
Everything is hyper. Oh, sorry. I talked about this super cycle. You know how we're trying to recover from all-time high and get back on the bull market path. On Friday we were. Yeah, your mom's calling. Yeah, so we're back on that path of where will we settle before Fed meeting? Where will Fed meeting take us? Fed meeting is November 20th. But it's not a matter of where it will take us for now. Of course he said they're going to raise rates. That's what he was being, it was the nothing sandwich as someone last week. It's kind of
it's going to take us downward.
Well, it could take us downward, but I don't think that news alone. So it's a matter of where we're going to be before then.
I think if the rates are raised again, I think we're going to have potentially another round of bank failures. Because I really they barely survived the last rate hike.
It's also the timing. It's also the timing.
Really bad.
The four horsemen. High interest rates, people getting sick, poor earnings reports. That could be another catalyst for another.
Oh my God! It's going straight to 84, man. Dude, it's going to 84. VinFast is going to go to 84. What the fuck is this company?
Raising rates isn't going to make banks fail. Raising rates is going to have people with, providing more people. Because what? Oh, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Money will become more expensive, and they'll be farther underwater on their bad loans, their cheap loans that they gave out pre-pandemic.
We have to wait for another government bailout before election year. That's the only way Biden gets reelected on the political scale, is if there's another stimulus package passed, so that way the average person can afford maintenance on their life, I should say.
Hey guys, look, I have a thing, okay? So here's a thing on VinFast. So I know, but it has to be about making money. And so if it's going to go up 25% today, right? So the thing is, I'm actually wishing to be bearish on the company, but really all you have to do is buy with a sell stop, a protective stop limit order. In other words, that people call it.
Georgia.
And then the thing is, if you wait for it to go up only 5% in a day, and then in which case it starts to tank, and then right? I mean,
EDC.
I'm not bearish on a company that's going vertical on their IPO. I'm bearish when insiders start selling, which is usually about 3 days is after. September is a dirty month. September is a slut, man. September is nasty. People don't spend money in September because they don't got it.
What is GDC company, you guys? What is this? Let's talk about this GDC. They just jumped 69%.
Nice.
What's going on with this company? GD Culture stock nearly doubles after plans announced to enter TikTok live streaming e-commerce market.
GD?
Yeah.
Oh, for real, GD.
Of the future portfolio with TikTok to drive growth of live streaming e-commerce business segment.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like a logistical Amazon company without the frontage of the Amazon sign up front.
It's like our buddy in here last week. Yeah, guys, I'm a drop shipper. I can teach you how to drop ship.
Oh,
I work for Amazon directly. I work in their warehouse. I can tell you how this shit works, fellas.
You can make $200,000 a year drop shipping.
My buddy, you know what I'm saying? It's like
you just watched a bunch of those videos, those drop shipping videos on YouTube. There's like a million of them where they're just like basically.
He watched them on Instagram Threads.
There's a million of them like trying to teach you how to drop ship, and it's like, you gotta pay to see the videos, and they just tell you shit you already know.
Yeah, right.
Like a scam. It's like the influencer scams where they're like, oh, do you want to make passive income and actually live your life? Well, pay $15 to see my life plan for your, it's basically people, you got to pay to, they're making money off of they're just making money off of
the age-old grift.
Yeah. They just offer something they can't provide.
TikTok is a real revolution, though, when it comes to forms of media. I think that if you can set a TikTok, obviously, if you can set a TikTok micro trend, you can make a macro amount of money.
Well, I think TikTok just really just came through and just basically was like, look, we're starting Vines up again. I mean, I think TikTok took advantage of people missing Vines because it's basically Vines.
I can't watch a whole movie on Vine.
Huh?
I can watch a whole movie on TikTok, 10 minutes at a time.
You can?
Fuck yeah. You can see porn. You can see a movie. You can watch news content. You can watch regards trade and think they know what they're talking about on TikTok Live. You can watch football games. You can watch. I watch the World Cup on TikTok.
You know who's trying to. You know who I'm excited to see enter the streaming space is GameStop. They got this player thing coming out that's supposed to be a rival of what is it? Twitch? Supposed to compete with Twitch? Maybe TikTok a little bit.
I thought that player thing was just another different form of Steam.
It is kind of like that, but you'll be able to stream as well. It's like Steam. It's a game launcher, and you'll be able to stream from it, just like Twitch.
That's Discord.
So it's like a combination of the two.
And I'll admit I didn't go too deep into it, but from what I understand, that was mostly just a game platform. But I'll double check.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a Twitch competitor. A Steam Dude, I'm super excited about the future of gaming. Super excited.
Hey, wait, was it just me, but did he drop out for like a full sentence?
Do what? Me?
Spy's going back to 440.
Oh, I probably did. I'm gonna next to an elevator.
Spy's going back to 440.
Did Spy? I'll check out Spy. I never check out Spy.
VIX is super low, so it'll keep moving back towards the high of Friday or the low of Friday. My bad, sorry. Or in the high of Thursday. Depends.
So I'm guessing you have calls.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not buying calls right now.
So okay, so I'm guessing that you're.
I would buy 0-day calls right now if I thought it was going to go up, but I don't see any sort of volume that would indicate it would go up.
How much money does that take to buy a call on Spy?
On Spy, 0 days are like $1 to $4. Weeklies are like probably 400 to 1,000, depending on how OTM or NTM you are.
Yeah. So that's what these guys are doing. They're spending $1,000. You're making 40 or 90 bucks off of it. I mean,
no, you're making a little more than that.
Mm,
My best trades are on Spy and SPXL, especially when there's a lot of volatility.
Seems like there's a lot of volatility at the moment.
No, VIX is super low. Things are pretty stable. It's just it's just a retracement of last week right now.
Yeah, I'm a Spy trader. I sneak in. I try to corner the girl in the pool hall and put inside. Try to get situations where
Wait, what?
I get situations where I can't lose.
Situations where you can't lose, trading the trend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about cornering a girl in a pool hall. I'm like, man, don't do that.
Well, I mean, if she's in the corner already, and it all depends, man. It all depends on what the variables are.
Nobody puts baby in a corner, bro.
Here's the thing: you can only get your dick cut off if you put it in the glory hole. If you don't, then you're not going to lose anything. But you can also get your dick cut off. It's the same measure.
Yeah, but I know you guys probably had like your girls cornered in the pool hall, but
no,
I was never.
You know what they say? No.
I was never that type.
You know what they say? No glory hole, no reward.
Nine. I say ruler. I say glory hole. It just depends on where, when, and timing. It's like a stock market. You just gotta be in the right place at the right time, man. That's it. That's all you gotta
Time in the market beats timing the market.
Okay, Boomer.
I think the right place at the right time. Maybe this Innovax play.
Not this year. That's not a play like you.
Novavax.
I don't think so. No,
Cool.
There's too much interest. If there was less exposure, I would say maybe.
No, I agree. There's a psychological way that says that he's right. They're sending kids home. It's gaining some stuff. It's gaining attention from us and others. So yeah.
Ooh, do you guys see yellow dropping 13%?
They're going bankrupt. Of course, they're going to drop 13%.
Yeah, but there's a bidding war over their assets. Going bankrupt doesn't mean a company's worthless. It just means that they're not going to be operating anymore.
So what happens if GDP comes in stale?
25%. Ooh. Still climbing.
Hey guys,
VinFast is definitely doing well.
hey guys, you guys want pull up a chart of Roblox? I like completely and totally called that one.
Wow.
I was like puts on Roblox, and I sold them and then bought back better than what I sold, and then did it again and again, 3 times. That's it. But that was a ride.
I think. What do you guys think about shorting VinFast?
I think I gotta get out of here.
I wouldn't
You don't
short
think
them.
there's
No, I would not short them. First of all, chart doesn't look good. We know their earnings don't look good.
Yeah, but don't isn't it like standard for an EV company to like IPO, go up 200% and then fall down to like $1?
Oh, GameStop. You're talking about GameStop, though.
No, I'm talking about just EVs, EV plays in general.
Electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Well,
isn't that like isn't it standard for them to like IPO, go up to $200 and then fall down to $1?
Yeah. Well, they have to ride.
Isn't that like the standard play for EVs?
Right. Yeah, you're catching on. So VinFast. I'll throw out the chart and like the.
You think they're going to be able to? You think they'll be able to produce enough revenue to hold that $87 valuation 1 month into IPOing?
No, but so far it's only been
either.
No, it's only right. There you go. So now you're thinking like me. So you're gonna make your money on the upside, if sell stop, and if there's puts
and if it is successful, but if it is turn out to be successful, I mean, it's got to drop down to fucking $1 before it climbs back up. That's.
It doesn't have to go. It doesn't have to get to $1, but
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, the Asian markets have like this really, like,
Yeah, but what is their like? Are they producing enough cars to like make the revenue to support in $198 billion market cap?
Probably not.
I don't think so, dude. They have a $200 billion market cap right now.
Well, okay. So there you go. Now you're along my lines of thinking. See, yes. the reason why I bring it up, the reason why I was saying, look, it's moving, is I don't expect it to go to the moon. I'm looking for the fall. There's one of the things about falling stocks is that when evaluations become realized and your loss actually becomes realized and the situation actually becomes real, then you know exactly where you are. Okay. And they didn't really have a lot of track record to reporting. So you're onto something. They didn't have a record of reporting to the American exchanges about what their earnings are. Exactly. None of that, but
I don't think if they're so. Are they making cars right now? Are they delivering cars?
According to YouTube, so far, they are. All the parts don't fit exactly correctly, but it has horsepower and there's a lot of good things about it.
It says it's a low float company.
Yep, that was the other a big short aspect on VinFast is that it's extremely closely held. So apparently someone out there has the majority or far more than just a 51% share of the company. So,
so it's majority held. It's majority held by institutions.
No, what I'm talking about is a single individual.
Oh, a private owner owns more than 51% of that company.
Yep, pretty sure. So I mean, it's a big.
Well, wouldn't they
warning
be
sign.
the? Wouldn't they
It's
be
a big
like?
warning sign.
Yeah, it's a fucking huge morning for them. Jesus.
Right.
$197 billion freaking market cap. They're shitting on themselves right now.
Would you guys like to make an EV company?
Okay. Like we don't even got to
I-
deliver.
Yeah, I get. Well, we don't.
Super
We have to make it to the markets. I can weld the chassis. Okay, I know how to weld, so I can weld the chassis together. I could do the fucking whole
super
thing.
down, man. I know a DoD freaking elite programmer who can. I don't know if he can do the software or not, but
No, it can all come together, and so the no, it can, because you know what, you don't have to weld the chassis anymore, and the big things was the motors. I don't think people realize this. The two big things for electric vehicles were those specific types of motors weren't being manufactured.
Batteries and motors.
And then the software is not so much of an issue. But so, like, look, people make the wheels, they make the tires, they make the hubs, they make the axles, they make the there's probably a few drive components that had to be innovated. But if you could tap those, it's not complex. It's like a remote control car with electric.
Yeah, I build the drones, so I know something about putting a vehicle together, not an electric vehicle together, ESCs and all that good stuff.
So I think on VinFast, people have assumed that I was bullish on VinFast, and that's not the case. I don't know enough about them. However, they are rising. When something starts to rise and then rises again, I continually amp up my investment in it. And now I have sell stops. Hopefully those will kick in and work for them. They're well.
Georgia,
yeah.
Georgia buys all the stocks.
No, I wish, dude. I wish I would just own it all. Like, just like hand it over.
Georgia buys all the stocks.
But I mean, it could be, it could be almost anything. It could be Tesla competitor. You don't know Vietnam,
I just think I like I said, I think that this VinFast company they may end up being a successful company, but I think they may go the way of Rivian.
Yeah, likely.
Or the other one called Rivian and what's the other one called?
Oh God,
Mullen. I think they might go the way of Rivian and Mullen. If not, at least just for the first year while they're trying to get their profits up.
Okay, look, now you see why I was brought it up though. See, I'm not like a bull or a bear. I'm kind of like both at the same time. I will short certain things and I'll go long other things. I just try to
continually going up. So
yeah,
they're definitely rising.
Look, seriously. At 20,
there they go.
they're still at 20%. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that non-experienced traders buy it. Okay, because I can see somebody that just inherited. I can see a 20-year-old that just inherited. His grandfather gave him $20,000, and he puts it in this, and he ends up with one. I can totally see that. So, however, for people a little bit more nimble, I'd buy it until it goes up. Like it's going to go up. Maybe here's the rationale.
Stocks go up.
Look, watch. I'll show you what the rationale is. It went up 20%, today. So if it's not even a good company, like seriously, if it's shit, then it goes up only 10% the next day, and then 5% the day after that. The dichotomy of our minds is we split things in our minds. All of that, it may just be complete farce of a company. Or
have you guys looked at Raytheon lately?
No.
You looked at Raytheon lately?
No.
They're down about $10-15 from their May price. Yeah, they're down to $85, up over $100 in March.
Strictly Bear, he put up this thing. It's a king crab. With this gif of even king crab. Okay.
Jim Cramer's bullish.
On what?
Raytheon. I think that's why it dropped 20%. Oh, that's not why, but
Jim Cramer's a pain in my ass.
Oh God, I can't stand Kramer.
Well, I don't follow.
He's a clown. He's a paid-for clown.
In fact, whatever he says,
they should have put him in jail.
You know what? I'll say this legitimately. I'll be on record. Whatever Jim Cramer actually says, don't necessarily do it, but consider and seriously consider the opposite. But not when he's just taking call. Okay, not when he's just doing his calls. When he has an elongated presentation of a stock, very seriously consider taking the opposite position of that.
Remember Meta? Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, he's on record.
We actually got an apology out of him for that one. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I don't know anybody who actually listens to the guy. Like, seriously.
I listen to him seriously. Just very seriously consider taking the opposite of what he's saying. Because he's trying to position you.
You listen to him seriously, but seriously the opposite of what he's saying.
Yeah, he might throw in like a one good one to keep, but yeah, some of those.
Oh, yeah. Carvana, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what I said.
What doing? Carvana? Man, they have had a very nice week. It's like we're up about almost $10 a week. 8%. Hasbro playing. Yeah, all right, Hasbro.
Okay, just want to put a warning out there that the owner, the predominant owner of VinFast, is a Vietnamese billionaire who has already lost a lot of money, who has already lost a lot of money on the company shares. So he may be looking to recoup those, recuperation, regain that loss. So keep that in mind. You're subject to the whims of a Vietnamese billionaire if you own that stock. I do.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna jump off here. I might jump back on here for a while, but to jump off here for now.
Yeah, me too. It's really nice outside. Kind of want to go walk around the park or something.
Oh, it's super nice outside. Please
Beautiful.
go enjoy.
Yep, I just want to take this time to say that NVIDIA just went green, or is trying to go green with crazy volume. So look out for that one. And congratulations, got anybody that got Carvana this morning when I said don't sleep on Carvana. I think it's fucking ridiculous. Other than that, probably just stay away from VFS. No idea what the hell's going on with this thing. Don't lose all your money. Have a good day, everybody.
I would agree with these statements that were just made. Don't lose all your money on the VFS because I'm only in it just shares and not 100. Just looking at it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In fact,
Hey
since
guys, take care. Thank you for making my morning so much better.
on VFS, it wouldn't surprise me actually if he's used the remainder of his fortune actually to push the shares up. And